What's up everyone, welcome back. So in today's video I wanted to talk about an issue again which a lot of people tend to ask me on, I would say on every alternate day, and that is when should I water my succulents. Now I'm talking in terms of newly purchased succulents. A lot of people they get panicked because one, they have recently purchased the succulent, so they are very nervous, or they're very scared when to water the succulent and when not to. Now remember guys, succulents are plants that store water in their leaves. We have spoken about this like a million times. So you do not need to be worried about watering, especially when the succulent has just come to your place. There would be enough water in the leaves, even though they might have been kept out to dry in order to be shipped. Even then, they are going to have enough water in their leaves to sustain for another week or even 2 weeks as well. So you do not need to be worried, or you do not need to be nervous that should I go ahead and water it or not. Because the issue with this is what I have noticed, and a lot of people have shared this with me, that a lot of people have lost their succulents because as soon as they got their succulent, they planted it and they went ahead and watered it. And for some reason, the succulent started to rot probably the second or the third day. I'm not very sure what's the reason, probably because the succulent has just come in, or probably the succulent had some cuts and you went ahead and watered, because a lot of times when the succulents are packed, there are 1 or 2 leaves that tend to break, or inside the box itself 1 or 2 leaves tend to break, and there is a cut which is not calloused, and then you plant them into the soil and you water them immediately. Probably that moisture comes in contact with that open cut and they start to rot. I'm not saying that this is 100% case when the succulent will rot, but there is a very high risk that your succulent will get rotted if you water immediately after repotting. Very high risk, and I've seen this happening a lot of times. So when you get your succulent, do not be worried about watering them right away. Let's say you have received this succulent. What you can do is, after potting it, you can just touch the lower leaves and see. In most cases, you will find that the leaf is slightly soft, not extremely soft, and it does not have a lot of wrinkles. Now in that case, you do not need to be worried. You can even water your succulent probably after a week or so. Just let the succulent relax in the new environment rather than being in a hurry to water, because a succulent will do well with underwatering rather than overwatering. In overwatering, you will not have any chance to rectify. In most cases, the succulent will start to rot. So it's better to keep the succulent slightly underwatered than overwatering, because in underwatering you still have a chance of recovering the succulent, but if it is starting to rot, or if it has a crown rot, then you can't do anything with your succulents. And another thing, let's say now that your succulent is asking for water, you tend to see that there are wrinkles, the leaves are soft. So that's when you go ahead and do a complete watering. This is where again a lot of people make a mistake. I have seen people saying that you have to only use 2 tablespoons of water, or use 1 tablespoon of water. That water is not going to be enough for your succulent. Whenever your succulent is thirsty and you have to water it, you have to do a complete watering, meaning you have to water it until the water starts passing through the drain hole. And here, as you can see how quickly the water passed through the soil and it has started to come out from the drain hole. So this is how you need to water. This is called as complete watering. Not use 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of water. That is not going to be enough for your succulent. If you're confused, if you're not very sure, don't water. Wait. You'll notice wrinkles on the lower leaves. You'll notice that the leaves are getting very soft. That is an indication that your succulent is now ready to be watered. And again, after watering, you have to wait for the soil to be completely bone dry. Wait for another couple of days and then go ahead and water. Watering is a very tricky subject to be understood, because it all depends upon your environment and climate. We do not have the same environment. We do not have the same season. We are probably living in different countries, or we are living in a different continent. So this becomes a little difficult to give an accurate answer on when and how to water your succulents. But the thumb rule remains the same. The soil has to be completely bone dry before you water it again. So that's it for today guys. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep planting.